You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
Welcome to the Hot Options Report, your premier source for insight into the fast-moving options market. Each day, we'll track down the products that are dominating the options chains and impacting your trading account, from Nvidia to VIX and everything in between. If it's lighting up the options tape, then you'll find it on the Hot Options Report.
All right, everybody. That music means we are back once again for your Hot Options Report, a special midday edition coming at you middle of the session here on Friday, December 19th, the final full trading week of 2025. Man, where has the year gone? My name, of course, Mark Longo from theoptionsinsider.com. Reminding you, top of the show, make sure you subscribe to our full network wherever you get your favorite podcast. If you want to go above and beyond, you want to check out cool additional shows like pro Q&A sessions, unusual activity shows, get great giveaways, get great live streams, access to other exclusives like, of course, the Vol Deathmatch, and all sorts of other fun things. TheOptionsInsider.com/pro is the place to go to learn more. And of course, while you're checking things out online, rumor has it I will be joined by Mr. Nick from Quick Options on the show on Monday. Yes, check out what they have for you. Some of the best data in the business, and you sure can't beat the price. TheHotOptionsReport.com is the place to go to kick the tires and light the fires as we kick off a midday most active top 10 for you listeners. Number 10, it's our old pal CoreWeave roaring back to life today. CoreWeave 81.52 as we are recording this, listeners, up nearly 14 handles, about 13.85. That's about 20.5%. So CoreWeave roaring back to life. By the way, looking pretty impressive. We're midday here, and it's already costing you 467,000 contracts to break into the top 10. There have been many days where in the entire session we don't get that much volume to break into the top 10. So a pretty active midday top 10 here, which is always exciting. And you're saying to yourself, what is the hot option in CoreWeave today? It's 35,000 of the Jan pars. My goodness, the pars. That's a wild strike. Looks like about 60% of them going up on the bid for about $1.75. That is opening paper, so has the whiff of a bit of an overwrite to it. I have to say I like it better that way. If you're paying $1.76 for these, that you need CoreWeave to continue this impressive run through Jan expiration. But I think anyone who owns the stock and sells those calls won't be mad if they get called away at the par strike. As we keep climbing to number 9, a name that is not climbing, it is Nike. 58.91 right now, off about 6.75 or about 10.25%. So they are coming for Nike today. Go figure, a name that relies heavily on imports, having a troubled year during a year when tariffs and everything else is really weighing on that side of the space. Putting up 492,000 contracts for the number 9 spot right now. The hot option in Nike land, listeners, 35,000. Of the D's 59 puts, yes, these are expiring today. So right now they're looking pretty good. They went up for an average price of about 32 cents. So obviously you need Nike to keep selling off for those bad boys to pay off. If you sold them, you're a brave soul. You're drawing a line in the sand right now. We'll see where Nike goes out at the end of the day. As we keep climbing to number 8, out to the A tech names. Apparently the AI trade back on today. AMD number 8. 516,000 contracts on the tape, climbing $12.05, trading $213.11 right now. And the hot option in AMD. Now, this is interesting. Maybe some folks thinking the AI trade is not back on. 37,000 of the 210 puts expiring today. Average price for these about 90 cents. So if you're scooping these, you need AMD to fall out of bed in the second half of the session. If you're selling these, you might have to grit your teeth a little bit, but you could emerge unscathed as we keep climbing to number 7, keeping it in the A-Tech names. It's the Amazonians. 229 even right now, up about 2.25 or nearly 1%, putting up 521,000 contracts for the number 7 spot. The hot option in Amazon right now. 44,000 of the 230 calls, again, expiring this afternoon. Average price for these, about 12 cents. That makes sense given the fact that we are not quite there yet. So if you think Amazon can keep running, then maybe you like these as a scoop. Otherwise, you're saying sold to you as we keep climbing to number 6. It's Oracle, also climbing today on the back of some news that perhaps they're picking up a piece of U.S. TikTok out there, popping 14.5 bucks, closing, or I should say trading right now, 194.5. 648,000 contracts on the tape for them today. And the hot option, 72,000 of the 195s. These went up for about 75 cents. So Oracle needs to get in gear the second half of the session if they're going to pay these off as we keep climbing to Palantir. Palantir also climbing. 190.87 right now, up about $5.17 or about 2.8%, putting up 682,000 contracts for the number 5 spot and the hot option in Palantir right now. It's the 190s going away today. 101,000 of these changing hands already for an average price of right around $1.50. So you can do the math. Palantir, if you're buying these, needs to go out right around 191.5. Can it do it? We shall see as we keep climbing to number 4. It's the fruit company. They are not climbing. A rare day where the market's rallying and Apple is red, if ever so slightly. 271.45 is where they're trading right now, off about $0.75, putting up 721,000 contracts. For the number 4 spot today, the hot option in Apple right now, 81,000 of the 272 halves. These went up for nearly half a buck. So again, you know the math. If you're buying these, you got to get to 273 by the close today or you're out of luck. So Apple needs to kick it into higher gear as we keep climbing all the way to number 3. It's our old pal, Beyond Meat, putting up 791,000 contracts for the number 3 spot. Trading right now, $1.14, up about a dime. Looks like it's the 1/2 calls that are expiring today that are lighting up the tape. 432,000 of the 1/2s have gone up today for an average price of nearly a dime, 9 cents. That looks like about 432,000 dimes that are going to die, listeners. My goodness. If you wanted to throw away money, there's better ways to do it. Can Beyond Meat threaten the 1/2 strike, let alone $1.60 by the end of the day? I guess we'll find out. Wow, that's a painful one. As we keep climbing to number 2, it's Tesla. A Tesla turning down to the red, if ever so slightly. 479.42, where we're hanging out right now, off about exactly $4. Putting up 2.5 million contracts already. That is impressive. What won't be impressive is everyone who's been piling into the par calls this week. We've seen hundreds of thousands of those change hands pretty much every session this week. Right now, 479.42 ain't going to do it, listeners. Tesla needs to get into high gear just to threaten that strike, let alone pay off all those calls that people have been slinging all week. Right now, the hot option, 136,000 of the 485s. Average price for these, $1.72 as well. And these are looking pretty rich right now as well. So wild stuff. Doesn't seem like these 485s are going to make it, let alone the pars. But we shall see. Second half of the session could hold some surprises. But there are no surprises for the number 1 spot today, listeners. Nvidia coming back to form, roaring back to life. 180.25 is where it's hanging out right now, up a little over $6 or about 3.5%, putting up 2.66 million contracts already. So this is a banger first half of the session. This is like 1 day's worth of volume already in a lot of these names. So absolutely wild stuff. The hot option in a hot day in Nvidia, 194,000 of the 180s. Right now, they're worth 28 cents. They went up for an average price of about 60. So again, you can do the math, listeners. Nvidia needs to climb a little bit more to pay these bad boys off. That is going to do it for your hot options report for the final full trading week of 2025. We will be back next week on Monday to kick things off with the option block, followed by the crypto rundown. Then, of course, we wrap it all up after the closing bell, another episode of the Hot Options Report with the folks from Quick Options in tow. So make sure you check out thehotoptionsreport.com if you want to see more of this data that we don't have time to get to on the show. It is only about 10 minutes after all. Thehotoptionsreport.com. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. See you back here on Monday, everybody.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.